Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Fire Breathing Rob. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. And please subscribe and share these videos. We interview a lot of different people that have many different stories to tell that, hopefully will enlighten you and help you learn something today. So we appreciate that. Today we have Laurie Marshall, and she is going to be talking about art. And she has a unique story to tell, and we're going to go into that throughout this interview. And Laurie, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. I know we tried to do this a couple weeks back, and the internet was shaky on both sides. So I'm grateful that you're able to come back on and join us.
I'm grateful to be here, Rob. Thank you so much.
All right. So Laurie, first of all, tell us a little bit about you and what the viewers should know about you, I guess I should say, too.
Well, I have had a passion for teaching since I was 8 years old and became a certified social studies and art teacher, and have served in public schools and alternative schools and helped to found a school, a parent cooperative, over the last 35 years, and have worked with mostly underserved youth. And I am passionate about children flourishing.
Right.
And all humans and all life flourishing.
Well, let's get into that. And I do want to get this question off. Where did you find that passion for art? Because, and we'll get more into this in depth as the interview goes on. We see that, these are the first things they cut when they do cuts in state budgets. Art programs, music programs, PE, physical education. So with that being said, why do you have a passion for art, and why do you think it's important that kids learn art, music, and all these other critical programs to help? I believe it'll help them grow mentally, physically, and even emotionally, because through art they can learn about themselves and how their mind works. And I feel like it's a very good emotional tool to grow. Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. I began with my interest in teaching, and I'm an extreme extrovert, so I get nourished by being with people. And I don't have a very easy access to what my inner experience is, what my feelings were. And I didn't major in art. I majored in American history and teaching. And when I got out of college, I went through a very difficult divorce at a young age, and I saw that I had a car wreck. I broke my wrist on a climbing accident, and I was experiencing my pain physically that was going on internally. And I began to draw and to observe the world and to take action, to make a decision and take action. And it opened up all kinds of information about what was going on inside me that I wasn't getting any other way. It was a mirror. It's a self-reflection tool. Whatever you draw is a self-portrait. And so the world of art just opened up to help me experience my emotions. And then I integrated that with my love of people and developed ways for us to combine our visions of success, which is essential for trust, to have a shared vision of success. And without vision, the people perish, and we move in the direction of the images we create. And I saw that art is a tremendous tool for healing, for connecting, and for making the world that we want.
What would you do if, I had a student like me that's, not the best artist, but, they try hard when they're in class. And how would you help me find my passion for art, even though I may not be the most artistic person that's inside the classroom?
I would let you know that human beings have been drawing for 60,000 years. We have this impulse to make our mark on the cave, on the stone, and that lives within us. We've been drawing for 5,000 years. Everyone can make a straight line and a curved line, because that's writing the alphabet. If you can make a straight line and a curved line, there's nothing you can't draw. I would tell you that your iris is unique, your hair DNA is unique, your thumbprint is unique, and that you have unique images inside of you that no one else has, that the world needs. And it's not about rendering things realistically to be graded on if you're as good as the next person. It's about finding those unique images and symbols that the world needs because no one else has them. And trusting that once you begin to value your symbols and your visions, that then you will find the tools to make them visually powerful. And once you have that interest, then I would help you make your unique images.
Can you speak about your books and also the plays, the many plays that you have written throughout your time?
Yeah. So I love supporting the village. And plays are another way that we share our common understanding. And the plays that I've made have been based on children interviewing their grandparents and making a play called The Ties That Bind, or researching history of a place and bringing that to life through Voices of Rappahannock. Was another play that I wrote. And I love story because our brains are hardwired to learn from story, because in addition to singing and dancing, we would be around the fire and tell stories, and that's how our brains learn. So to make them in a play with music and dance is very powerful. I made one play called Rumble in the Mountain, a geological fable of conflict and resolution, which helped bring a peer mediation program to the local high school. And the kids co-wrote it. So I co-create.
So where do you get the ideas, Laurie, for these plays?
I think I just am open, and creator flows through me is all I can say.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, and I wanted to share, one of my books is Beating the Odds Now. It says 10 steps for teachers to meet the standards and still love what you do. I love supporting teachers. They're on the front line of helping the children.
Yes.
And this is also a great book for parents because it focuses on the first step is to listen to the spark within the child. And that's what teachers should be doing too, in my opinion.
Right.
What does that kid come in having an affinity for? What are they fascinated by? Just feed that instead of destroying the curiosity that children come in with. And also, I'm a big proponent of project-based learning and kids making real things for a real audience that comes from a real interest and has a real impact. We should treat all children as graduate students. Let them go deeply into what they're interested in, feed them experts, and do real stuff.
I feel for a lot of teachers because a lot of states and cities, they don't treat their teachers well. Teachers should be paid way more than they, well, that's another topic for another day, but just
Japan,
to go
Finland, they all pay teachers like doctors.
Yeah, and that's why people that are graduating, the top graduates out of our schools are going to Wall Street, and they're not going into teaching because they treat the teachers terrible. They try to cut their pensions, cut their wages, every chance they can get. And it's real sad because, as you said, and I'll end with this, is that these people are educating your sons, your daughters to become the best they can be. If they don't have the tools, if the students don't have the tools either, because they cut from the students as they cut from the teachers, then they'll amount to nothing. And it's really sad because we have a lot of talent in this country, and a lot of it doesn't, get to the place where it should be because of our politicians and government that just wants to cut, and not put money into these really, such as the environment, such as education, where if people are, doing well in school and they're learning to the best of their ability and they're going to college and getting masters and doctorate and degrees, then they're going to be great citizens, and we're going to be competing with the rest of the world, which right now we're not doing a good job.
Yeah. It's just, you stimulate so many ideas, but yes. Another one of the books that I wrote was based on Deontay Webster's story that he wrote when he was in third grade about Hurricane Katrina. And another source of my inspiration is always listening to children, because they have a, a conduit for great spirituality. And this story, Deontay and I worked on it for years, for about 6 years, and I illustrated it, and it is about the need for kindness. And it's so important that we focus on kindness now, with the incredible stress that our planet is under. And this flood of kindness, I made imagery of people working together.
Right.
And we just have to understand that people working together is the only thing that's going to work. And also Deontay had the great insight to know that our grieving process, our sorrow, is what will help us heal. And he weeps tears where a magical rose springs out of the earth. And we're all grieving together on a very deep level. And it's gotten accelerated by the pandemic. And all of us are grieving our lost loved ones, our lost dreams, our lost village, the suffering of others, and the suffering of the earth. That's from Francis Weller, a great psychologist. So another source of my inspiration is children. And finally, here's the Singing Tree Project was inspired by an 8-year-old girl who said, "What if the whole world made a painting together?" And oh my God, that just changed my life. That vision, it resonated with such a deep hunger that I have for the world to work together and not work against each other. And that vision has sparked 84 collaborative murals that I and others have facilitated, of a tree, of the earth and space, all centered around a beautiful book called The Singing Tree by Kate Sarity. And in that book, she tells her father's story in World War I of being a soldier and crawling all night long on his belly to escape the enemy. And everything had been destroyed by war, like in Wonder Woman in World War I, just rubble and nothing alive. But when the dawn came, one tree had survived. And in that tree were birds that aren't normally together, singing a song that had never been heard before. And our earth is like the singing tree of the galaxy. And we can choose to destroy it and each other, which is we do really well, or we can create beauty that's never been seen before. And this is a STEAM project because it involves the science of trees and ecology, and the way that all the leaves of a tree work together for the whole tree. There's never a leaf that says, "I'm better than you are, you have to do it my way, look at me, give me your lunch money." So trees are tremendous teachers for us. This is the Singing Tree website, and on this website there are this page is the forest of murals, and it has all the murals from the different years. And if you click on one of them, you'll see during 2011, here were the murals that were created. And on the home
These were
page,
painted by students, correct?
yes, so these are
Okay.
all collaborative murals. They're co-designed. None of them are alike because nature loves diversity. And let me just show you this video.
Sure. Now, Laurie, this is all at the school you work at then?
This is around the world.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. They go to conferences. And this is a peace building program.
Mm-hmm. So how many other countries is this affiliated with?
People from 52 countries have contributed. to the singing trees, because the whole world is invited to create
Yeah.
together.
Hey, I know her.
Yes. And they go to conferences,
Yeah.
and sometimes the tree turns into a bird. These were kids that lost their homes.
Wow.
What do we want to come out of the ashes? Love all around.
I think we should have kids running the country instead of adults. Because
Yes.
it seems like the kids can get things under control and the adults can't.
Yes. So this one is about what makes our country great.
Mhm.
Well, it's a way of exploring what people are thinking in a big, beautiful way. Every breath a prayer, every day a ceremony. Building bonds across gender, race, and culture is peace building. This is one planet living, not living as if we have 5 planets.
Right.
I love the variety, and that's what happens when you welcome imagination.
Yeah.
People move in the direction of the images they create. And this mural was designed by a 7-year-old who wants to prevent
Wow.
extinction.
That's
We
really
must
important.
learn to work together like never before so our children will have a future. Profound collaboration is possible, visible, and natural. So that is what happens when you grow together.